quote-unquote born again, and 39% of blacks as quote-unquote somewhat conservative, according to the study. Now, what drives me absolutely crazy is, why is it taking a black president who has governed as one of the most left liberal presidents we've ever had? Why has it taken that for black Americans, particularly those who are conservative and religious, to wake up to see what the Democrat Party has been doing to them for years? Back to the study. First, we saw the quote-unquote empowerment effect, the boost that happens when a member of your group gets elected to an important political position, says study author James Gibson, a professor of government and African American studies at Washington University. Gibson's findings are based on national surveys conducted between 2005 and 2011. In 2009, the year after Obama was elected, 71% of blacks reported feeling as free to speak one's mind as they used to. Quote, but then perceptions of political freedom deteriorated among conservative and religious blacks, says Gibson. By 2011, the percentage of blacks who felt as free to speak their mind had dropped to 56%, back to pre-Obama levels. It's worth noting, white Americans also reported feeling less free to speak one's mind under Obama, but the decline was far less than among blacks. In part, says Gibson, this can be attributed to, quote, ideological polarization. Now, what polarization are we talking about here? I continue. That split may have begun when Obama dismissed Pennsylvania voters in 2008 who quote-unquote cling to guns or religion. But Gibson says many conservative and religious blacks likely believed when Obama was first elected that he would protect their interests as president. Race produces a level of trust and confidence that one is on your side, he says. Over time, that confidence eroded. Gibson cites the contraception debate between the White House and some religious leaders that erupted last year. Black Americans, he notes, are traditionally conservative on social issues. And this is a great point. If, as a country, if we truly were post-racial, and we were truly looking at things through the lens of our own self-interest, and on the values and principles that we have in common, more black individuals, particularly those who consider themselves conservative and religious, would find themselves aligning more with candidates other than those from the Democrat Party. But unfortunately, blacks have historically voted monolithically with the Democrat Party, even though they have not done a thing for blacks. Continuing, another schism may have centered on gay marriage. The Democrat-leaning Coalition of African American Pastors, for example, recently said they felt, quote, marginalized and, quote, ignored by Obama's seemingly sudden support for same-sex marriage. Now, on this I've got to comment that his support was seemingly sudden tells me that this coalition must have been blinded by race, because those who have been following then State Senator Obama, would have found no surprise here whatsoever. Continuing the article, religious fundamentalists and conservative blacks, Gibson says, quote, have seen their efforts to participate in public life while under President Obama being thwarted over and over and over again, end quote. And that is from Elizabeth Flock, who is a staff writer for U.S. News and World Report. Nope, didn't get that from a hardcore right-wing news source. but rather from U.S. News and World Report. Does make you wonder, doesn't it? Well, you're listening to the Palmetto Conservative Show here on the CB Media Network. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Feeling lonely this holiday season?
Looking for little human interaction?
Do you want to feel contact in certain special places?
Then why not go through security at an airport?
The TSA.
TSA agents are ready and standing by to give you a little something extra to feel thankful about this holiday season.
The TSA.
What are you waiting for? I want to check under your testicles.
Spending time with a TSA agent couldn't be easier. Simply book a flight departing from any American airport. When selected for a full body scanner, say no. You'll be pulled aside by a TSA agent, and that's when the fun begins. And you never know who your agent will be.
It could be me.
Or me. Or even me.
But it's probably gonna be us. Take off your damn shoes.
The TSA. It's our business to touch yours.
Welcome to the Bureau of Womanhood Conformity. Independent thoughts are considered subversive because all must agree with our leader.
When it comes to women, preventive care should include coverage of contraceptive services such as birth control.
You see, if you don't believe government should pay for your birth control, you're not a real woman. Womanhood denied. If you refuse to accept that pregnancy is a punishment, you're denied as well.
I don't want them punished with a baby.
If you don't believe that abortions should be allowed for any reason, if you don't believe in aborting a child for being the wrong gender, and if you don't believe that stay-at-home mothers aren't real workers, you are not a real conformed woman.
His wife has actually never worked a day in her life. His wife has actually never worked a day in her life.
Finally, for your safety, if you oppose mandatory government health care, you will die.
They will be voting to say that women can die on the floor.
These standards and regulations were formed after our glorious victory in the war on women. Thank you for your cooperation and your conformity.
His board is bad enough here, and I approve this message. With flu season upon us, Bullwinkle failed to order tissues. He told us to wipe our noses on our sleeves. Bullwinkle said he was hungry, but then he ate a large meal and claimed he wasn't hungry anymore. Which is it, Mr. Moose? Bullwinkle promised to create new jobs. Then why does he tie his own shoes? I don't have any shoes. Couldn't he hire someone to do it for him?